It's your boy Flex Money back with another video, and today I'm gonna be reacting to 0-on-3 react to the college football rankings, and he better not even talk about Alabama. I shouldn't even be talking about Alabama. Do not even think about it. War, cause bro, they be tweaking. I ain't gonna lie. Don't even, like, cuz, bro, there's no way, like, you don't know ball if you, like, but if you new, make sure you like and subscribe. If you're not new, make sure, I'm gonna be eating my food, so if I'm probably smacking my foot, but yeah, man, I'm eating chicken rice, but, I'm sorry if I'm gonna be smacking or some shit, but, yeah, man, so I'm gonna be eating my food, but yeah, but make sure you like and subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Save on new appliances at that time.
I'm on stream too right now. I'm on stream too.
As Reese Davis said, the penultimate college football playoff rankings, or for those of us that speak English, the second to last college football playoff rankings. There's a lot to unpack with this one, man. Listen, I've said many times I think this committee is doing a good job. I don't think one ranking should change our opinion on this committee necessarily. I'm kind of just upset at everybody right now. I'm upset at the committee. I'm upset at the structure. I'm upset that I got ESPN showing me a side-by-side graphic of Duke and JMU. No disrespect to either side of that equation, but just like, can we be adults here? So what I want to do is go through these rankings, and then I want to go and talk about just the structure we're working with right now, and just do our best to take an absolute bat to that thing. So I want to start at 14 because you got the Vanderbilt Commodores from the Southeastern Conference, who won 10 football games, whose only losses are to a team that looks like they should be in the college football playoff, in Alabama, who's playing for the conference title this weekend, and to Texas, who just beat the number 3 team in America by 10 points, and who's ranked number 13 ahead of them. Vanderbilt's not getting in the college football playoff. I know Hunter Yurachek said, well, hey, listen, if you're idle doesn't mean we're not.
Vandy not getting in the playoffs is crazy work.
Not going to move you after conference title week. Come on,
bro, they're better than Oregon, Indiana, bro. Texas Tech.
Big Daddy Hunter Yurachek over here. I can do whatever I want to do as the head of the college football.
That is crazy work, bro. Even Jay said it, bro. He said, if I was a freaking Vandy, bro, if I'm a Vandy, bro, I know Vandy fans are pissed right now, okay? Pissed. I'll be pissed too. Like, overly, like, this shit worse than us not getting into the playoffs last year. I'm gonna keep it old, buck with you.
All playoff committee. Vandy's not getting in. And Diego Pavia may win the freaking Heisman Trophy. My point in all this is, don't talk to me about SEC bias anymore. Just don't do. Like, I understand it's fun and it's low-hanging fruit, and it gets you a lot of likes on Twitter when you say, "Oh, they hate our conference. They're all for the SEC, ESPN, SEC. They're doing the whole thing."
That's a damn lie.
Vandy's 10-2, and they're gonna miss the college football playoff. Miss me with the SEC bias stuff. Texas at 13, and I don't have anything to say about Texas relative to like trying to push them into the top 12. They're 9-3. Now here's the difference: should Texas be in the college football playoff versus what would they do if they got into the college football playoff? Two different conversations. You put Texas in. Who's to say they can't win a football game? Who's to say they can't get hot and win 2 football games? They just beat Texas A&M, again, by 10 points. We all were saying A&M could win a national championship before last week. So, like, I don't have a governor on what Texas could do, but going back to the discussion, like, our hands are a little bit tied here with that loss to Florida. Texas at 13, probably about where you would imagine they finish. Now, Miami at 12. Listen, if you're a Hurricane fan and you're shouting from the rooftops, why the heck are we not ahead of Notre Dame? I hear you. I get it. I think the Notre Dame conversation is a little bit more relative to like how the Notre Dame trust factor is in the committee. We'll get to that in a second. My point in all this is I think the committee doesn't know what to do with y'all. I think they put y'all at 18 in the first rankings, and ever since then they've sort of been trying to make up for it. I think that first meeting, they were like, Miami's going to lose another game. Don't worry about it. Put them somewhere near the top 20. Put them in the teens. Still a talented football team, but like we all understand now, that Notre Dame win was great, but Miami, they're not done losing. 18 is a good spot for them. And then Miami kept reeling off wins, and they finished the year 10-2. Now the committee's like, shoot, where we have Notre Dame again? Okay, we do say we value head-to-head. The games do have to matter at some point, right? Like, what do we do here, y'all? So my point in all this is I really think they don't know what to do. Hunter Yurachek, again, said if you're not playing on conference title weekend, from how I read this whole thing, different than last year, you may end up moving if you don't play a game. Now, how does that work? I don't know. But the game that I would watch if I was a Miami fan, I'm watching number 11 BYU and their game against Texas Tech. You're hoping that BYU loses in a impressive enough fashion to where Miami gets to jump up there.
And then, though, like, hold on. We can tell that strength of schedule don't matter because look who's at number 1 and look who's at number 2. That shows us right there strength of schedule does not matter. That tells us look who's at number 1 and look who's at number 2. That tells us everything we need to know about strength of schedule. We'd be, oh my God, excuse the man out of me. Well, I'm a grown Amy. Shit. I don't know why I said that, but excuse me. But these teams have played nobody, gang. You beat a Texas, struggle with them. Congratulations. Who else you beat? I don't know who other team they beat, but you gonna brag over a trash team that was ranked. Ohio State, trash. Indiana, definitely trash. You play a damn thing.
Maybe you get some other chaos in the SEC title game. I don't see a world here. I don't agree with it where Miami gets left out of gets into the college football playoff rather. And I get that's just a weird discussion to have because a team that you beat head to head and you have the same record and you've done better against 3 or 4 common opponents. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't really agree with it. I think the committee really shot themselves in the foot with that first ranking, but this is kind of where we are right now. And if you're looking for answers from me, I don't have them. I don't agree with it, is all I can say. I don't agree with it. I think Miami should be in the college football playoff, and this goes to the whole structured conversation we're going to have after we kind of round out these rankings. Now, BYU at 11. I don't think you're safe if you lose the Big 12 title game. Now, the cut line seems to be at 10 anyway, so that discussion is sort of a moot point. But here's the thing. BYU looks like, how I'm reading this thing, you got some crumble cookie money, making boss moves, controlling your own destiny, keeping Kalani Sitake. That is the theme of this weekend for you. Life, and this weekend is all about Taki. That is the theme of this.
Once. Oh, I forgot.
This weekend for you. Life, and this weekend is all about controlling your own destiny. Don't let them have that conversation around what do you do with BYU and where do you rank them and could they have done this or that? Like, again, the cut line seems to be at 10. You beat Texas Tech, you're in the college football playoff. Live that way. So go beat Texas Tech, BYU, and get 2 teams from the Big 12 into the college football playoff. Now, the seeding, the ESPN graphic is just hilarious because this speaks to just how ridiculous the structure is. We are going into conference title weekend, and we're talking about 2 college football playoff spots being assigned to question marks of the 4th highest-ranked conference champion and the 5th highest-ranked conference champion. So to give a quick spark notes here, the American Athletic Conference title game between Tulane and North Texas will be for one of those spots. If JMU wins the Sun Belt and Duke ends up beating Virginia, you will get 2 teams from the G5 into the college football playoff. I don't really have a take there for you other than the fact that, again, a Duke and JMU graphic from ESPN side by side as to who should be in the college football playoff and how that should work. If JMU wins and Duke wins, you put Duke in something like, again, funny discussion, we ride, and that's just kind of how this whole thing is looking as it stands right now. But that's kind of the explainer, if you will, for those 2 spots. Now, Notre Dame at 10, them being down a spot from last week, going back to the whole we don't know what to do with Miami discussion, feels like a concession of sorts there because the explanation from Hunter Yurachek, and the guy's got the toughest job in America here, make no mistake about it. He makes a list every single week and then has to go on TV and explain it, which is a tough deal. It feels like to me they're saying, listen, we don't really know what we're doing with Miami. Somebody's got to pay the piper here. Notre Dame, we're going to move you down a spot. Because the reasoning was Alabama beat Auburn and looked good in the first half. Alabama ran the football well, so therefore we're going to have them jump Notre Dame, even though Notre Dame absolutely boat raced sweet Gucci leather belt to behind against Stanford on the road, and we're going to go ahead and say, sorry, it wasn't good enough. Bama looked more impressive against Auburn in a rivalry game. Nobody.
Who did Notre Dame beat again? Did you just hear what the team you just said?
Alabama ran the football well, so therefore we're going to have them jump Notre Dame, even though Notre Dame absolutely boat raced. Sweet Gucci leather belt to behind against Stanford on the road.
Just said Stanford. Oh my God, bro! Just said Stanford. Just because they put belt to Stanford. Oh! Them niggas beat Stanford. Cause they put belt to Stanford. Hey, my boy. Wake up, casual. Wake up, gang. And you know it. Auburn is not that what that record say. And you should know that if you're a knowledge. If you have ball knowledge. If you have football college knowledge. You know, Pitt Auburn. Auburn versus Notre Dame. Auburn's beating Notre Dame. Auburn will beat Notre Dame. Like what? They should have never pit Notre Dame over us anyway. You talking
then we're going to go ahead and say, sorry, it wasn't good enough. Bama looked more impressive against Auburn in a rivalry game. Nobody loves rivalry games more than your boy. But honestly, I don't know if that was enough for me to definitively say, let's go ahead and switch those teams around. Now, Bama, with you being at 9.
If you have tried multiple oral antidepressants and they haven't worked,
when the SEC,
did you know that
I keep saying this, and the more I say it and the further along we get in these rankings, I don't know how much I believe it, but I'll keep on saying it. I think that either way, whether you beat Georgia or you lose, if you beat Georgia, obviously, in the college football playoff, and you think you are in position to get a bye, question mark on the end of that. If you lose to Georgia and get left out of the college football playoff, Greg Sankey will go to absolute war for your conference. Believe you me, because here's the thing. This is the last guaranteed year, to my understanding, of the 12-team college football playoff, meaning everyone in the conferences, the overseers of their respective conferences, the commissioners, are going to get in a room and have discussions about the future of the college football playoff format. If you leave the SEC conference title runner-up out of the 12-team dance because they played on conference title weekend, Greg Sankey will make it rain. And not in a positive way with dollar bills. It will be absolute rage, fury, and, hey, we're going to go take our ball and play somewhere else. I'm not saying I support that. I'm just telling you what's going to happen. Again, I'm not telling you that's what I would do. I'm telling you Greg Sankey, I have to believe, by my estimation, would make some very big changes and act with the rage of 1,000 waterfalls.
Yeah,
all right, but again, Bama, if you lose the conference title game, I'll be surprised if you get left out. You getting moved up a spot is the reason why I feel that way. Oklahoma at 8, no real discussion there. They keep on finding ways to win. They're 10-2. I think Oklahoma has proven they should be in the college football playoff, especially with the Hunger Games schedule they had. A&M at 7 felt like a pretty big drop to me. Just keep it a buck with y'all. I would have probably put A&M in that 5 or 6 spot. You lost all. Make some very big changes and act with the rage of 1,000 waterfalls. All right, but again, Bama, if you lose the conference title game, I'll be surprised if you get left out. You getting moved up a spot is the reason why I feel that way. Oklahoma at 8, no real discussion there.
Yeah,
finding ways to win. They're
I dare you to do
think
that.
Oklahoma has proven they should be in the college
and
football
I know
playoff,
we're not,
especially with the Hunger Games schedule they had. A&M at 7 felt like a pretty big drop to me. Just keep it a buck with y'all. I would have probably put A&M in that 5 or 6 spot. You lost on the road to a top 15 team, and that's your only loss of the season. I don't know. Kind of sits funny with me, but it is what it is. Ole Miss at 6. I'm just glad they didn't drop them, honestly. I don't know if I would have moved Ole Miss up, going back to my A&M point, but I'm glad they didn't do the whole, you lost Lane Kiffin, so therefore we view you differently. And if they had made that argument, I would have understood it, because I think Lane Kiffin, being the offensive mastermind that he is, makes a big difference. But I also think that Charlie Weiss, coaching your team through the college football playoff, the OC for Ole Miss, is a big reason why you didn't see them move at all. I also think that the committee is like, hey, we saw the backlash from the whole Jordan Travis Florida State thing. Understandably, though, like quarterback and head coach, different impacts. Like one touches the football every single play of a football game. The other is on a headset for the entirety of the game. So not one-to-one comparison there. But I do think the committee was like, hey, we probably can't make that move. We definitely can't make the move on Selection Sunday. I think if the committee were going to drop Ole Miss because of Lane Kiffin, they would have done it in this ranking. So Ole Miss, you're hosting a college football playoff game, is my interpretation there. Oregon at 5, good with it. Texas Tech at 4, good with it. Georgia at 3, Indiana at 2, Ohio State at 1. No real notes there. But like I mentioned, I wanted to just have a quick discussion about the structure of this thing. Doesn't it kind of suck we're talking about having this conference champion who gets 11 and who gets 12 when we have teams like a Vanderbilt, like a Miami, like a BYU who's only lost this year is to a top 5 team in college football on the road. And we're talking about who's getting that 11 and 12 spot. Doesn't that sit a little bit funny with anybody? And listen, I'm sort of the old man yelling at the cloud here because it's not going to change. But just understand how stupid this is. And this isn't even me being anti-G5. The tricky part about this discussion is whenever you open your mouth and say, why are we doing auto bids? Why are we doing is you sound like you're against half the sport. I'm not anti-G5. If there's 3 G5 teams that are good enough to be in that top 12, put them in there. I'm all the way for it. Last year with Boise State, I was like, yeah, they deserve to be in there.
No sense.
Take auto bids away. Boise State's still a top 10 team in college football a year ago. A couple years ago with Cincinnati being a top 4 team. Absolutely they deserve to be in there. I was carrying the flag for the Bearcats as a G5 team making the college football playoff when that whole thing was going down in the 4-team era. But when we're talking about a 7-5 Duke maybe catching a break if JMU loses their conference title game in the Sun Belt Championship, like what are we doing here? Like what if it's supposed to be the best 12 teams? Then why are we not talking about the best 12 teams? We're talking about the best 7 teams, but also these conference title ties. And listen, I'm not naive enough to believe this isn't about money. I totally get that. But this whole structure is so stupid. And I just had to say it on camera, and I hope this resonates with you as a college football fan.
Stupid.
This is not about the best 12 teams.
You're right, man.
And so some of this, you say, committee, I'd like for you to maybe do that Notre Dame Miami thing differently. I'm here for that. But the structure of it all really puts the committee in a tough spot. So the fact that we're talking about a team that is admittedly not ranked in the top in the top 12 in Virginia, this isn't me being anti-ACC. I'm just like, let's put the best ACC team in to the college football playoff, and let's reward Virginia some other way. If we want to go about it that way, we can talk about that later. But you hear where I'm coming from. Let's talk about the best 12 teams. Cade and I were talking before the show, and he was adamant. He's like, I think we got the best 12 teams if we just did straight seeding. And I don't think he's wrong. Anybody going to be upset we put up Miami in there and BYU in there with the years they've had to this point and what they've shown on the actual field? Like, missing with all the conference title stuff, we've said this for a long time. If we just dashed away auto bids and said, I don't care about your conference logo, give me the best 12 teams, I think that'd be a better way to go about it. But alas, we'll watch the games, we'll talk about the games. We are not complaining about the greatest sport on the face of planet Earth, but we are complaining about the structure here because I think the people in charge are not actually interested in having the best 12 teams in the playoff. They're more so interested in just lining their pockets. So it is what it is. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Really quick, we'll touch on these matchups. Interesting, we got a little rematch there in Norman in the first round with Bama and Oklahoma. That'd be interesting because a lot of turnovers went into that win for Oklahoma. Are they able to replicate that in a game against Bama? Remains to be seen.
No,
and then Notre Dame.
No, they only won because Alabama beat Alabama. That's the only reason they won. Not beating us again.
And
oh God. I ain't gonna lie. We gonna beat the brakes off of y'all. Ohio State. I want to play y'all. Like I ain't gonna lie. Like it's gonna be so amazing to play y'all. Like you know how amazing it's gonna be. Like do you know how amazing it's gonna be to play y'all? Cause we're gonna beat the brakes off of y'all. Just know that we gonna beat the brakes off of y'all. Ohio State.
A&M having that one played in College Station as opposed to South Bend. That one came down to a missed holding call and a botched field goal hold. Like I'm here for a rerun of that. That'd be a lot of fun. And then again, the question marks there in the bottom half of that bracket just kind of pissed me off. So it is what it is. But again, comment section, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, how you feel about these rankings, and if you get as worked up as we do when it comes to the structure of this whole thing. But it is what it is. Ball up top. We'll talk about it. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Cato on the ones and the twos. Myself, JD Pickell. We're going to keep this party rolling. We will see y'all next time.
WJD.
I feel.
If you new, make sure you like and subscribe. It's about Facts Money. And I'm out. England. Alabama roll tide. Man, we about to win that natty. Let's go. Yes, go. Yes, sir.